Hi, I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this cute applique bison. Now, a couple of things before we get to actually putting it together. I want to tell you that the pattern is more than just the bison. It includes the pieces that you need, different horns, different shaggy forehead hair, different ears. It includes different pieces to make also a muskox, a yak, and a highland cow. And I also wanted to point out that I have done something a little bit different in this video. This is the one that's going to show you how to layer the pieces together if you have a light box to guide your placement. And in this video, I'm including a little bit of extra information that shows you some tricks ways that you can use the light box beyond just layering the pieces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is some ways to layer it that are especially helpful if you have a pattern that has a lot of pieces or a pattern where you decided to use a pretty dark fabric, both of which I did for this bison or ox. I'm actually using this for the block for a year of the ox for a lunar zodiac quilt bundle that I'm working on. But so this one has lots of pieces, and I decided to make it in dark color. So I decided it would be the perfect video to also show you some extra bonuses that you get when you're working with a light box. So here's how to make it. Okay, this is the video showing you how to assemble the bison, muskox, yak, highland cow, oxen pattern. It's a mix and match pattern, so it works for all of those animals. In this one, I'm going to use the bison placement guide, and I'm also going to show you something a little different. So this is for a sample that I'm making for a Lunar New Year quilt. So all of the animals are made in bright gemstone colors, and they're all going to be on a red background. And that means the colors are pretty dark, and I thought this was a good opportunity then to show you some things that you can do, some perks of using a light box if you're working with very dark colors. So the light box will show through, even through very dark colors, but it doesn't show through multiple layers of very dark colors really well. So that's what we're going to kind of pretend that we have today. So we're going to start with a piece on the top, and that's this whole little snout thing. So we're not going to worry about the rest of the animal. We're just going to worry about the snout. So I'm going to lay down piece number 11, which is his chin. And then I'm going to lay down piece number 12, which is the front part of the snout, the main part of it. And then I'm going to lay down these two nostrils, 13 and 14. So you can see where those nostrils get placed. It's not showing through very well now, but if you just make contact, those lines show through much better. But if I had a really dark fabric underneath this, they might not show through very well. And I would have two dark fabrics underneath this, which would make it very difficult to see. So that's why this one is a good test for showing you this little sneaky thing you can do. So just get the other one on here. And before I do this, while we've got this, we can also look at other things, kind of clusters of things that we could put together now, but they are not touching the nostrils. So you have to make sure it's things that are not touching that little cluster that we're working on there. So let's work on the ears. So we've got piece 2 is the inner ear, or the lower part of the ear. Put that like that. And then let's do the other ear too. So that's piece 3 over here. I'm going to do the ears and the horns, and I want to show you that I can do all of those together because the lower ear, the upper ear, and the horn all go underneath the face, underneath the mop, but on top of the body. So all of these are one cluster that will work together. So if you decide to do this with any of my patterns, you do need to kind of think about how they're going to go together in the long run. So now this is piece number 5, so it's going to go over here. Okay, and number 6, or I'm sorry, number 4 is over here on this side. So I can see this line where the top of the ear ends, and I'm going to get that lined up. Okay, now we're going to do 6 and 7, which are the 2 horns. So I've got 7 in my hand, so we'll do the horn on that side. Okay, and now we're going to do 6, which is the horn on this side. All right, now I'm going to lift this off of the light box and I'm going to carry it over to my ironing board, and I'm going to fuse this cluster together and this cluster together and this cluster together, and then I will bring them back here and show you what we're going to do next. Okay, I'm not going to worry about getting it exactly on there, because the next thing I'm going to do is peel off these pieces. So it's still a little bit warm. Normally I would wait for these to cool completely, but I'm being impatient today. So now we have this cluster all fused together. I'm going to set that aside, and I've got this cluster all fused together, and that gets set aside, and then I've got his little nose and mouth and everything. All right, so now let me get this guy centered, my placement guide back on there, and this back on there. The next thing I'm going to do is do all of the pieces on the face. So before we have this dark layer underneath it, I'm going to peel off the backing on the face. You know what? Let's give this guy eyelashes. So I'm going to transfer the eyelashes from the paper side to the fabric side. You can just see those lines through there. Let's see. My printer is losing ink, so it doesn't print very dark. That's showing through better. Okay, 1. And I keep accidentally tapping the brightness button. Okay, so we're going to put some eyelashes on that. All right, let's now peel that paper off. I'm going to put it right where it goes on here. And then I'm going to take this little cluster that we did, and I'm going to set it right where it goes, because I can see through this, because it is just a single layer of fabric. And now I'm also going to put the eyes on. So 9 and 10 are the eyes. It really doesn't matter which one is which. And again, if you have trouble seeing those lines through, even through a single layer, just tap down and make contact. You don't have to push hard, but if you, the fabric with the fusible adhesive on the back of it tends to kind of cup up a little bit. And so if you make contact between all 3 layers, that light shines through. The lines shine through much better. All right, so now we've got his eyes and his nose, his mouth in place. And I'm going to lift up this silicone mat, carry it over to my ironing board. That's very important, because if you tried to fuse this just on your ironing board, you might think, oh, I could just pick that face up and carry it over. But it will fuse to your ironing board because you have peeled the paper back off. So I'm going to lift it up with the silicone mat and carry it over, and I will be right back. All right, now I'm going to peel that off, and I have a face ready to fuse down. Now I'm going to put the whole thing together. So let me once again center this on there. Make sure I didn't hit that brightness button again. Lay down my silicone mat. Now I'm going to lay down piece number 1. So normally I love being able to make my entire applique and lift it off as one big piece, and then I can audition it on different backgrounds. or if I'm doing a larger quilt and I want to audition which goes in which block, that's a great way to do it. But doing it piece by piece like this is also a great way, especially if you're working with dark fabrics. Extra bonus of using the light box. All right, so we're going to lay down piece number 1. And then if you remember, 2, 3, like 2 and 3 were these ear bits. So we're going to do the entire ear clusters here. There's that one. And this one. And then the next one would be the face. And even though this is a dark fabric, I can see that line through there. And I can get the face put in place. And then all I have left is the mop on the top of his head. And that one is extra easy to line up because shaggy pieces have lots of points that give you good matching spaces. All right, now once more, I'm going to carry this entire silicone mat over to my ironing board. This time I'm going to fuse all of the pieces together. Then I will wait for it to cool, peel it off, and fuse it on the final block. That's the final fuse. I'll do all of the outline stitching, and then I will bring it back here and show you the finished bison or oxen, and also the muskox and the yak and the highland cow that I made using the same pattern. All right, here is the finished yak. So as a reminder, the yak has got these long curved horns that just about fills up the block, just about fills that full 10 inches. But I've got a few more bovine animals that I made that I want to show you. So this one is the bison, and I'm also going to use this to be the ox for the year of the ox in a lunar zodiac quilt pattern bundle that I'm working on. It's in these bright, crazy colors because all of the samples that I'm making for that sample quilt, all of the animals are in bright jewel tone colors, and all of the background blocks are bright red. But you can also make a much more realistic looking bison if you wanted to. But I've also got a highland cow. So this one is super fun. It also has curving horns, but they are a little bit thicker than the yak horns, and they also come out straight and then tip up in a curve, where the yak horns are more uniformly curved. And of course, he has the big shaggy mop that falls down over his eyes. And I've got one more version. This is the fun muskox. So the muskox has got these curving horns, no top like mop of hair on the forehead. And it's also, I didn't use any ear pieces on the muskox. The ears just kind of competed with these droopy down kind of horns that they have, and they just ended up looking very weird, and it actually looks more like a muskox if you take the ears away. So you can also use these pieces to make other bovine animals. You could take these horns and just turn them a little bit to make a water buffalo. You could take the yak horns and make them even wider to make like a longhorn cow. Lots and lots of opportunities, but these are the 4 that are included in the pattern. I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and I will see you next time.